How you guys doing today? Today I want to talk about how to get a higher credit limit fast. So stay tuned. My name is Jay, and welcome to Ask a Debt Collector, a subsidiary of Clear and Strategic. Now, I've been in the debt collection industry for over 15 years. I've done it all, from management to owning 2 debt collection agencies. For the past 10 years, I've been the go-to guy for friends and family for questions regarding debt and credit, and now I want to be that person for you. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. For those of you who are new to this channel, be sure to like and subscribe. Let's go. We're going to get right into it today. There's some free stuff down below. Be sure to click and opt in for that. The free letter bundle, if you're looking at taking yourself from the 4s to 5s or 6s and getting yourself in the 700 club, save yourself a lot of money and so forth, and clearing up your credit. Not only clearing up your credit, but actually educating yourself so that way you can have the knowledge that's needed to continue to build the credit. Down below, a 20-minute free consultation. Sign up for that, and we can get that done. So here we are. How to get a higher credit limit fast. Now, in this situation with regards to me, it was something that I did, but it was done on accident. So what I mean by that is this. One of the ways to get a credit increase and to get a high limit and for it to happen really fast, I'm talking 2 months to 3 months is when this happened. And it's something that I teach every single client that I have. There's something that you do that is called credit cycling, right? So with credit cycling, it's something that you do with regards to your account, and I'll explain to you what happened. But first, let me give you a story, because how I end up doing this was on accident, right? I'm always teaching you guys every 6 months you ask for a credit limit increase. Now, the reality is just because you ask for a credit limit increase every single month doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get it. So one of the things that I learned is credit cycling, which is what is showing right here, right? So credit cycling is something that you can do in order to get a credit limit increase, and it can happen fast. But let me give you the story with regards to how this happened for me. Now, I have a credit card through Apple, right? I have an Apple credit card that I had. And at the time, what ended up happening was I knew that I wanted to buy a laptop, and I know I wanted to buy an iMac. And I bought a few other things with regards to that. So when I was strategizing and trying to find a certain type of account to apply for, at this time I figured, you know what, the Apple Card will be perfect. They gave 3% cash back on any expense that you did with regards to Apple itself. I didn't understand what credit cycling was at the time. I just happened to do it on accident. But what ended up happening is I applied for the Apple Card. I was approved for this card. I believe I had like a $3,000 limit at the time. And so obviously I bought a laptop, which cost me about $1,400 at the time. That's all that I wanted. I bought the laptop, and probably a few days later, I paid it off. Then I ended up purchasing an iMac, the bigger screen computer, which was, around $2,000. And then I ended up paying it off about 2 or 3 days later with regards to that. And then later I had bought an iPad, as well as whatever this thing is, the little, whatever this is, I forget what it's called, but it was to help me edit and stuff with videos and so forth, as well as I paid for the software with regards to editing and stuff as well. So I paid for all this stuff on my Apple Card, and I ended up paying it off. And I remember at the end of that month, next thing you know, I didn't even request for an increase on my card, and they gave me an increase up to from $3,000 to about $8,000. And I thought that was cool. And I was like, hey, that's awesome. I got a credit limit increase on the car, and I didn't apply for it. So of course, with the way that I was thinking about everything, I said, you know what, let me figure out why or what it was that got me a credit limit increase without me even asking. So I remember calling Apple. I got a guy on the phone, and I said, you guys gave me a credit card increase. And he's like, yes. And I'm like, I was wondering why. And basically what he told me is why credit cycling is one of the best ways to get a credit limit increase on top. So basically, in order to get a credit limit increase, for it to happen really fast, or when you request, a lot of times when you do this, it'll happen automatically, which is what happened with me with my Apple Card. But it can happen, obviously, when you ask for an increase with regards to itself, is you get the card, you use 80 to 100% of the balance of the card, right? Just like I did with the Apple Card. Once you use a lot of that credit card, you pay it off, right? Because obviously you're using your credit cards like debit cards. You're only spending what you have in the bank, and you're just getting the extra points. So you use the card, 80% to 100% of the card, and then you pay it off. And then later in that month, you use another 80 to 100% of the card, and then you pay it off. And what ends up happening is the credit card company sees that you actually spent over the limit of the card and you paid it off, therefore prompting them to give you a credit limit increase. This is something that can happen within 2 to 3 months and a lot quicker than the 6-month time span. But obviously, you have to plan with regards to doing it. Now, in my case, I end up lucking out because I thought, okay, I want to get the Apple Card because I want to spend it on Apple product. I got 3% cash back on everything that I spent. So if this is a strategy for you, you have to plan it out with regards to it. If you see yourself, you're going to be buying a bunch of Apple products, why not do it with Apple? If you see yourself and you're about to, let's say in an instance, another way that I had increased on an American Express card that I had that gave a lot of cash back with regards to shopping. I remember that there was a party coming up and a company expenses with regards to a party. So in this party, obviously we were going to be catering 100 people. And so with the credit card itself, I knew, okay, let me get this credit card that had a balance, I believe, of like $3,000 as well. And I knew that I was going to be spending a lot of money on party supplies and so forth with regards to that. And obviously I had the cash to pay it back. So I spent up 80 to 100% of that credit card limit, and then I paid it off. And you do that multiple times within a 1-month time span, and that triggers something with regards to the credit card company, letting them know like, hey, this consumer has this card, the limit is at this amount, and he is maxed out or up to 80% of that balance a couple of times this month and actually paid it off on time, prompting them to give you a credit limit increase. This is one of the strategies that I teach each and every client that I have. And obviously a lot of the stuff that I teach everybody that signs up for a free 20-minute credit repair consultation and actually signs up for our services, it all happens from experience that I had with regards to myself. So remember, in order to get a credit limit increase very, very fast, a way to do that is by credit cycling. It's one of the best, quickest ways for that to happen. But obviously you have to prepare for that before you actually do it. You got to make sure you have the funds in the bank to obviously cover the expenses of maxing out the card. And it makes a lot of sense. So this strategy is an awesome way in order to do so versus just charging up a credit card with no intent to obviously pay it or with the intent of just paying the minimum balance. This is a way to get a credit limit increase, therefore increasing your credit utilization as you get the credit increase, therefore what? Increasing your credit score. Now, if you have any questions about credit or debt, put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. And as I always state, you be great. Have a good one.